certainly track is an excellent choice, but also direction would probably help. I don't know if direction would do it by itself
But,
as a primary, but it could be a helper. And there are several others that could be involved. But
maybe we should switch then.
Yes, switch to some better tracker.
Because I have 10 dice in track.
Oh, well then.
So if you help me, I will need to make more dice.
Right,
I
exactly.
give up my place.
So we kind of switch. So now it's the scout.
Right. Okay.
I can help with tracking.
I get the feeling it's like one of these things where the car stops and everybody jumps out and runs around, and the new driver gets in the driver's seat and everybody gets in their new seat, and then the car goes. Right.
Only we are faster.
Right.
It sounds like when you're training to drive, when you switch places, when it's not as difficult.
Exactly. Right. All right, so we have the tracking from Yansu, and then is anybody going to help with anything? Listening and things like that will not be as important in this case. It's going to be more...
And search stuff.
Search is a good idea. You can't search until... How am I going to put it? Searching by itself would not be a primary, but it's a good helper. So,
I'm gonna help with tracking, because I have high in tracking as well.
Okay.
And I got... 6-12, so humane. So I help him with 1 die.
Good question.
It's like I got unbelievable, but I only give you 1 die.
Right. Exactly. Well, this is a pass-fail roll. Right. So first, Helma first.
Rules question: if I happen to roll a catastrophic, would that impede the tracking ability?
I will look that up in just a moment. Thank you for sharing.
Because if that's the case, I'm not going to try it because I only can roll.
I think that I am forced to honor any result of catastrophic in my special way. If the dice hands me a catastrophic, I will not be able to resist.
I can
get over 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
question: Can I use culture?
Culture would be a very interesting use, and I think that's a good idea. You have a good idea from studying variety of cultures, how they live in the woods and things like that. I like that.
That's well my thinking. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So right now we have 2 extra dice, Ola.
No.
-1, I guess.
Okay.
I got a catastrophic.
Oh, really? Okay, then. I really probably should not.
Come on, 5 dice and I got a catastrophic.
I know. Well, he still gets his roll with the 2 extra dice. There's no reason not to do that, but I'm very interested in the assist rules.
I see like Ola walking and like, all right, I'm gonna track this. Nadia and Margaret helping, and then the doctor is like, well, I think we should go over there.
I know.
Because the Indians did this.
This tree shows that the Indian people came forward.
Okay. We haven't really been doing this, but I don't think it's affected us very much. If you roll under poor, so if you get catastrophic, pathetic, feeble, or inferior, then it should be -1 die. So I think we've probably forgotten to do that on more than one occasion, but we usually don't have those kinds of results on these helping rolls. So I'm not too
I want to
worried
roll
about
now.
it. But that means that you now have +2, -1, so you have 1 extra die.
11 dice. Yes, and I think this is quite good. It's 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's inhuman.
Okay. Well, that actually does mean that your combined modern abilities and your combined psychic talents, even with the occasional misstep, um, have led you to be able to track uh, in ways that even an expert might not achieve. You are able to identify the use of the land, the use of trails, and the use of areas, so that you are able to locate um, probably a fairly well hidden and not very accessible um, encampment of people living out here. Um, Now, what does this look like? I am thinking that Sweden is full of wonderful forests with lots of boulders and lots of rocky walls and little unexpected drop offs of rock into an area uh, that's like a little valley. And so you would not have been able to come into this area unless you found this one particular track that people use. And even that is carefully disguised, but an inhuman result is well enough to spot it anyway. And you have to take at least an hour of following this, and you will find that there's a region that you could not possibly have located. One thing you have not seen anything of in any of your time in Xenos are flying vehicles. You have not seen any airplanes. So, therefore, and you have not seen anything crossing the sky or anything like that. So, aerial surveillance is apparently an underutilized technology here. So, therefore, their visibility from the sky has not been a high priority for them. So, um, so I'm not really concerning myself with it being concealed from the air, especially from high up. But from the grounds, there was no way to find this place except through this kind of result. What does it look like? Um, First of all, um, you may be surprised, especially considering the reference that Max made a minute ago, that you will be actually see Native American style teepee enclosures. Um, and they look very portable, as though, yes, they can be taken down and wrapped up and moved fairly easily. Another uh, another aspect that is kind of strange is that there is a fenced enclosure using thick branches that has a number of animals in it. Somewhat to your shock, you may actually recognize some of the animals that have been turned into humanoid forms back at the city. These are more like ordinary four-legged. They are not earth animals, but they are not too different from cows as an analog. So they are in this pretty big enclosure. And those of you who have the background, and all of you have been exposed to pop culture and media all your lives, it shouldn't take any difficulty, no role is needed to recognize this as an Old West style corral. So that is the region you are looking at is fairly extensive. probably half a kilometer wide and long is the area that we are talking about over different kinds of terrain. Some of it is very rocky, some of it is very some of it is flat and grassy, but with a lot of trees disguising this place.
Does anyone want to switch with me? And I'm thinking of leaving my body and doing some sneaking this, because they don't know that we are not hostile. So it would be nice to see what we are up against without them seeing us.
I can take it back.
Right.
Shall we keep being stealthy, I guess?
I'm leaving the body. I'm doing an astral projection.
Yes, you're going to do some out of body work.
Yeah, but I was thinking we might, even if we stand still, we might roll for stealth because we don't want them to find us.
What do we want?
Yeah, we won't now.
We want to meet them, right? So how do we? What do we do so they know we aren't?
Ask Macho.
I think
she says that she doesn't. She just hopes that they don't kill us. They don't kill me because I'm progeny. This is where the worms run off to, escape from their. She says community centers. That's the word that she's been taught. The worms escape from their, or run away. She won't even say escape. The worms run away from their community centers, or the rejects will come here as well. But then she kind of laughs and says, well, I guess I'm a reject now, aren't I?
Sure.
She says, but they won't know that. I mean, and she touches some of her cybernetics.
I think we can probably help you with that, but I think it's the best is if we kind of know what we're up against, so we don't step into some kind of. I would prefer that we know where the real danger lies before we move into this.
So at the moment, however, you are going to shift now out of the body and start walking around in your ghostly form to get a better idea.
And I'm on the lookout for the squids, or any other mysterious thing that can see astral bodies.
True. Okay. Well, as you proceed through the community, you will find that there's very little evidence of non-humans. So you don't see any spawn. You do, on the other hand, find a little temple, an area which is clearly cleared away for ritual use, with a small permanent structure built there that's like a very small, well, you would recognize it as a person from Earth. You've seen hundreds of different ways that people build small places of religious worship, and this is one of those. I know they all look alike around the world because we are so diverse, but we also know that they all look alike, right? A little spot of reflection and worship. Despite all the details, they always look alike, and this is one of them. So you see that. You also see that despite the teepees, that some things like this place of worship, and also the place where running water, fresh water, is supplied, because it's hidden, but you will find it. You will find that materials for gathering the water and the equipment that is there, the building up of a platform to stand on and things like that, all of that is much more permanent. Some of these things look decades old, like they were built decades ago and have been repaired and maintained.